To get started today, I want to introduce a very special guest. You're seeing him as well. It is Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas is a member of the Opal team and is a Dynamics 365 expert in Business Central. He's one of the great things about Nicholas that he's both functional and technical. So his strong background in BC in all areas allows us to have that great function and technical side and talk with him today. He's also an expert in Power BI, and as most of you guys know, when I've shown videos, majority of them are Power BI related. So it's great for me to have somebody else to bounce ideas around with. Welcome, Nicholas.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Great. So I know people have joined the live stream to unveil a new product. So what is it? Opal has built a new ConnectWise integration for Business Central. Now, so why did we build this? We at Opal, we've been using ConnectWise for 20 years, and for those 20 years, it's been integrated into Dynamics GP. GP is not one of the sources that ConnectWise integrates with, or I'm sorry, BC isn't, and we just switched to BC. May have gotten that confused. We moved to GP, from GP to BC. And one of the biggest things that we needed to do was have the invoices, expenses, and things tied over. So one of the videos that I did probably a year ago was some Power Automate, and in that video, we moved over invoices from ConnectWise into Business Central. Now, instead of having to do Power Automate, we've built, and let me phrase that, Nicholas and his team have built a great product that is standard. It's built into Business Central. It's an extension that we can add or hopefully soon put in the marketplace and download. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and show you the ConnectWise standard. So in ConnectWise, we've got the standard setup tables, and in one of them is the accounting packages. We have multiple options here from ConnectWise, and these all have all been great options. And we've used GP. If you're used to having the accounting interface, you'd come into the accounting interface and sync your unposted invoices per se with Dynamics GP. So instead of trying to build this into ConnectWise, we've taken it and we've now moved it into Business Central. And now, Nicholas, if you'd like to share your screen and give a quick little demo, they can see how it integrates between ConnectWise and Business Central.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So this is a demo, pretty standard instance of Business Central that I spun up here in the hosted environment. So what we did is we built something directly into Business Central, whereas a lot of other integration tools are going to use a middleware that sits in the middle that connects to ConnectWise on one side and Business Central on the other. We eliminated the middleman entirely and built it all directly inside of Business Central. So here you can see I've already got some bookmarks up here for various ConnectWise pages that we have created. So there's a basic setup with API keys and getting connected to your instance, but there's a few other setup features I wanted to add before we show the functionality. One of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to add the ability to set default fields for various things that come in, either customers, invoices, whatever else it may be, because the problem exists where there might be some information that Business Central needs that ConnectWise doesn't have. For example, customer posting group or Gen Business posting group. Both of those examples don't really exist inside of ConnectWise, but they're required for Business Central, and we want to make sure that those fields are populated. So when the information comes in, it's ready to go. So what we have here, just two examples. We choose to edit this list. You can see for this table, we can choose customer, sales header, or sales line if we need to set default fields. If we want to set something by default on the sales header, for example, click this. We choose our whatever the default field is. So for example, if we wanted to set something like a customer discount group, salesperson code might be a good example. We can set that, insert our value, and every single time we create a new invoice from ConnectWise, that field will automatically be populated for you. So really nice, really makes, it greases the entire process, greases the wheels to make it as smooth as possible. So that's one feature. Other thing that we wanted to make sure that we complied with was different people have different GL setups and different requirements for dimensions. Dimensions are one of my favorite features of Business Central, and we want to make sure that any integration to another system can comply and work well with dimensions. So the way that we did that is by taking a look at and creating this ConnectWise GL setup here. So what we did, coming from the world of GP, a lot of times you're going to have your big sample account, or you're going to have a big account string that's going to have each one of your segments broken out. And it's going to be separated with various, with a character of some sort, usually hyphened. I've seen underscores, I've seen semicolons, but usually a hyphen. And that is going to have the GL account. And then any other segments might or probably are going to turn into dimensions. So what we have here is the ability to give it a sample account string. And what it does is it breaks out the value down here and lets you say, okay, for each one of these segments of my account string, this is a GL account, yes. And then any of these other ones that are dimensions, we can map them to dimensions inside of Business Central. So for example, here, we've got a location code. This is PA. So now we've got a location dimension that it's mapped to. This is 00. This is mapped to division. And this 1100 is our sample, and that is listed as our GL account. So right out of the gate, the system is able to comply with whatever account setup that you might have. So just a little bit of setup behind the scenes. We want to show that. The big thing, though, that we want to show is looking at this ConnectWise sales invoice list here. So nothing shown in this list. And what I would do is I'll go ahead and kick off this process, import ConnectWise invoices. So ask you for a date range. I've got, just to keep things simple, I'll say 12/8/24, again, start to finish. Say OK. This can be run in the background as well, but it's going to have this import invoices. And what this does is it takes all the invoices that it finds for that date range and brings it into a staging area. So we said, great, we found 8 invoices. It does also import customers, not just invoices. So if there's a new customer that comes in, again, we want to try and grease the process as much as possible, make it as easy to get those invoices in. So this brought in 8 invoices. Didn't have any new customers this time, but in about 9 seconds, it was able to bring in those invoices. So what it does is, again, we've got this staging ground here. And the reason why we like this staging ground is, first of all, it's what Microsoft does, right? If you look at their CRM integration, for example, that's how they bring in the invoices or sales orders, is bringing it into a staging table. Secondly, it lets you review them before they actually get created as invoices inside of Business Central. So if we take a look at one of these invoices, we'll open it up. And we can see it has a lot of the same fields as the Business Central invoice, but it's not an actual invoice yet. So we've got things up here in the headers, and we've got items listed down here as well. So automatically split out our GL accounts for us, pulled the number properly. We got descriptions coming over, quantity, prices, and line amount as well. And you can see here, shortcut dimension 1 and dimension 2. These are to location or division, and those were also properly mapped for us as well. So very easy. We can come in here and we can review each one of these invoices. Again, the idea is to try and make this look as similar to a Business Central invoice as we can. So once we've got this process listed, or once we've got these invoices listed here, we can then copy these to Business Central. So we have this button up here for copy to Business Central, and it's going to copy all ConnectWise invoices to the native system. Duplicates will be ignored. Another feature that we have is we know that invoices are not always set in stone, and things change over time. So the reason why duplicates are ignored is we actually overwrite something. If something has a later date or a last edited that's a little bit later than what was originally in the system, then we can overwrite the previous changes with a more recent copy of the invoice. So we'll say yes. We'll give it a second. It says, great, 8 invoices and 0 customers copied. So now if we go over to the actual sales invoice list here inside of Business Central, we can see now we've got all of our invoices that were listed inside of the actual sales invoice module inside of Business Central. Right. So we've got all of our line items that come over successfully, locations, divisions, everything copies over exactly as needed from that inside of the ConnectWise invoice page. So this is good, this is ready to review. You can go through an approval process if you need to, or if not, you're ready to post. And of course, there is the native feature inside of Business Central to batch post as well. So if you wanted to post as batch, once you get comfortable with the system, post batch, all these invoices, and they're in your system. So all of that can be automated. We can automate as much of it or as little. Early on, we suggest maybe keeping a few steps manual, doing a few checks with the invoices. But once you get comfortable with it and get it all set up, this can all automatically happen behind the scenes. We can automate the importing. We can automate the mapping to the actual sales invoice, and we can actually automate the posting of the invoices as well. So as soon as you post it in ConnectWise, it's going to come in here. It's going to be posted in Business Central as well. So just a little teaser of what the capabilities are, but we're starting to use it here internally, and we absolutely love this this new extension for Business Central.
Yeah, thank you, Nicholas. Every single time you show it, I get excited because it does have a lot of features, and we put it allows us to quickly and easily get our invoices over there and continue with our business. So there's still additions we need to make. We know that. Right now it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it works with ConnectWise hosted right now.
Correct. Yep.
And if we ever want to ConnectWise on-prem, we'd have to look at it a little differently, but I think it's still definitely something we could work at and get it over. And that's great.
Yep.
So we're actually, like I said, we're still working on things. Moreover, right now we're actually looking for beta testers for this integration. So if anyone is interested, we're offering a free trial of the integration for the first 5 people that reach out and sign up. We do appreciate everyone who has joined today. This is, again, the first I say live event. I appreciate Nicholas for joining and coming on. As always, we will be providing more videos and content. If you like this, please go down and subscribe, not to miss anything from some guy named Chris. And everyone, I'd say have a great one. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks.